Appendix B1, Behind the Scenes, Multi-Digit by Single-Digit Multiplication. Here's part 1. We're going to use the distributive property, and students will follow along with their instructor to complete this lesson. Take a look at box A. Let's multiply 123 times 3. So here we have 9, 6, and 3. Our final answer is 369. Here's box B. We're going to expand vertically. So 123 means the same as 123. Moving on to box C. We're going to expand vertically, then we'll multiply. So here's 123 times 3. The first step is 3 times 3, so write that on the side. Next we have 2 times 3, but this really means 20 times 3, so write it down. And finally, we have 1 times 3, which really means 100 times 3, so write it down. Now let's multiply. 3 times 3 is 9. 20 times 3 is 60. And 100 times 3 equals 300. Add them up. And our answer is 369. Here's 369, and it matches this answer of 369. Finally, we have box D. Decompose or break up the array, then multiply. Use the arrows below and your answer from box B to help you. So here we have 3 times 123. There are 3 rows and 123 columns. This is a pretty wide array, so let's break it up. Instead of looking at this as 123 columns, let's break it up into 100 plus 20 plus 3. So from here to here, we have 100 columns. Draw a line right where you see the arrow, and write down 100. Next, from here to here, we have 20 columns. So draw a line and write down 20. And finally, from here to the end, we have 1, 2, 3 columns. So write it down. Here's 123, 123. Now let's multiply. 3 times 100 equals 300, so write it down. If you counted up every single one of these squares, you would have 300 of them. Next, we have 3 times 20, which gives us 60. And if you counted every single one of these squares, you would have 60 of them. Finally, we have 3 times 3, which gives us 9. And as you can see, there are 9 squares here. So in all, we have 369. Let's complete the multiplication problem at the end of box D. Here's 3 times 123. And we'll break up 123 into 100 plus 20 plus 3. So instead of 3 times 123, we'll write down 3 times 100 plus 20 plus 3. Let's finish up the problem. The first step was 3 times 100, which is right here. Then we did 3 times 20, which is right here. And finally, we have 3 times 3, which is right here. 3 times 100 equals 300. 3 times 20 equals 60. And 3 times 3 equals 9. And our final answer is 369. Here's 369. Take a look at the note on the bottom of box D. It says, as you practice and become fluent, you'll be able to do problems like this completely in your head. I've already completed part 2, and this is what it should look like. The original problem was 459 times 9, and notice that it follows the same progression as part 1 above. This is what the area model looks like in box H. Take a look at the note at the bottom of box H because it's different from the previous note. Here, it says, this one is harder to do in your head because it involves regrouping multiple times. So here, notice that we had to regroup twice. In box G, we had to regroup twice. And here in box H, we also had to regroup twice. So this problem is harder to do in your head, but with a lot of practice, you can do it.